as we say here in Harambe, 20, which means let's go. Jumbo everyone, my name is Tammy and I'll be your safari guide out there today. While we are out on the reserve, please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck at all times. If you guys have any personal items, make sure you're holding on tight to those, as it does get a little bumpy out there and we won't be able to stop and pick anything up. Now first we are heading into the little Ituri forest. Animals here tend to stay camouflaged into their surroundings. On the hand side are the okapi. Now, although those striped legs on the okapi look like they're related to the zebra, they are actually related to the giraffe. We know this because they have a very similar skull structure, and they both have these really long, prehensile tongues that they can use to grab and pull leaves off of the trees. Now, hanging out way in the back on your left-hand side, you'll see a black and white bird. That is the saddle-billed stork. Saddle-billed storks get their name from the little yellow section in between their eyes that kind of resembles a saddle. And we can tell males and females apart based on the color of their eyes. So females will have bright yellow eyes, whereas males have much darker colored eyes. And then way in the back along the wall, you can see the back side of the black rhino. Black rhinos can weigh up to about 3,000 pounds, making them the smallest of the African rhino species. They're also unique because they have a more narrow jaw and prehensile lips that are kind of like the okapi and giraffe's tongues, so they're able to pick things up with them on the sides of the bushes. Here's another one on your left-hand side, walking over this way. Kind of hiding behind the rocks over there. And then coming up right next to us is an orangey-colored animal called the bongo. Bongos are nicknamed the ghosts of the forest because they usually stay hidden behind the trees and the bushes. Up ahead, I think I spotted a tan-colored animal. This tan-colored animal is called the greater kudu. You're going to be hanging out on your left-hand side, right next to the tree. You can tell that all of the greater kudu here on the reserve are females because they don't have any horns. We also know that they have really great hearing because of their large ears. And next we are heading into our Safi River region, so this will be home to more aquatic animals and birds. And hanging out in that back right corner, you can catch a glimpse of some of the Nile hippos. There's also a whitish gray bird over there called the pink-backed pelican. Pink-backed pelicans get their name because during mating season they'll get a little pink spot on their back, kind of like they're blushing. When they open their wings, they can be 7 to 9 feet wide, so that's almost as wide as our canopy. Canopy is about 9 to 10 feet wide. On the left-hand side are some more Nile hippos hanging out over there. They do spend most of their time underwater. They can stay underwater for up to 8 minutes before they have to come up to breathe. And that's something they can do even while sleeping. A group of hippos is called a float, so that's a float of hippos over there. And while hippos can swim, they actually prefer to sink down under the water and run or walk on the bottom. Just past this rock wall on the left, you'll see the Nile crocodile. Sometimes those crocodiles will hang out over there with their mouths wide open, and that's how they cool down and regulate their body temperature. Kind of like how our dogs act, okay? Crocodiles have really strong jaws that can chew bones, but the females will be really gentle sometimes too, and they'll put their wings around in their mouth to help them hatch. You can tell that those are crocodiles and not alligators because they have a more narrow snout, and you can still see their teeth even when their mouth is closed. Also, crocodiles will be larger than alligators. And coming up around this next corner on your right, you'll tree, but it is also nicknamed the tree of life. It gets that nickname because it stores water inside of its trunk that animals are able to drink even in severe droughts. It'll also remain leafless for about 9 months out of the year to help preserve that water inside of it. And now we are heading down into our savanna region, so this will be home to more well-known animals like giraffes, zebras, and elephants. So on the left-hand side are the painted dogs running around. Painted dogs have really unique spots that are as unique as our fingerprints, so they're able to use them to tell each other apart. Now these wild dogs are a little different from our dogs at home. They only have 4 toes instead of 5. They also communicate using a chirping noise as opposed to a barking noise. Concrete. The elephants will sometimes use them as a scratching post, and once they get scratched down, the antelope will stand on them and use them as a lookout post to watch for predators. And hanging out on the right is one of the wildebeest. That grayish colored animal. Looks like a few more that were coming up ahead. Wildebeest have one of the largest migrations out of any other animal, and they have something every year called the Great Migration, where about 1.5 billion of them will migrate at one time. It's kicked up so much dust that it's been seen from the International Space Station. So here are more of those wildebeest on the right. A group of wildebeest is called a confusion, so that's a confusion of wildebeest over there. And then coming up on the left, I think I spot the Maasai giraffe. Maasai giraffe have really unique spots that are more jagged, kind of looking like oak leaves, as opposed to the smooth edge spots that you usually see. Giraffes will get birds standing up, so that baby has a 6-foot drop into this world. Once that baby is able to stand, they will stand at about 6 feet tall already. Once these giraffes are full grown, though, they will stand at about 15 to 20 feet tall. Giraffes also sleep standing up, and they only need to sleep for about 30 minutes a day. They spend most of their time eating. Now, because they spend so much time eating, that means their tongues are outside of their mouth for most of the day, so their tongues are blackish purple colored to help protect them from the sunlight. Coming up on the left, you'll see one of the African elephants. Here they are, just here. If you see one elephant, it is most likely a male because males tend to be more solitary, living alone, whereas females tend to live in much larger herds. Also, sometimes you'll see them flapping their ears, and that's how elephants cool down. They can cool down up to 15 degrees just by flapping their ears. hanging out up here. That's going to be the spotted colored animal with the really large horns. And woolly cattle are one of 2 domesticated animals here on the reserve. Hopefully you'll see the second one later on in the safari. And then also coming up in front of us are the greater flamingos. These greater flamingos get their light pink color from the keratin found in the brine shrimp that they eat. They won't turn that light pink color until they're about 2 years old. Before then, baby flamingos will be a light grayish color. Also, if you see the flamingos sticking their heads underwater, that's how they eat. They have a filter beak, so they're able to collect the water in their mouth, and then when they come out, the water will filter out and food will stay in. Down in that middle area there, in between all the trees. Cheetahs can run up to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds, making them the fastest land animal. They also have black spots underneath their eyes to help them see better during the day. That's how they do most of their hunting. Up ahead, hanging out on the left-hand side will be the white rhinos. We're also going to pass a really large rock structure called a cookpee. Many different animals will use it to get a higher lookout point to watch for predators and prey. That's also home to the lions. I see the male lion over there. Now these white rhinos can weigh up to about 5,500 pounds. They also have a more square jaw. Also, if you see them swiveling their ears around, it's because they have super sensitive hearing. Makes up for their bad eyesight. They can only see about 5 to 10 feet in front of them. And then on the left-hand side, that male lion. The male lion here is quite the movie star. He was the model for the adult Simba in the live-action Lion King movie.
He's right there, but he's like laying down and
Lions do sleep and rest for about 16 to 20 hours a day. They do most of their hunting at night. The females will usually go and do the hunting while the males stay home to watch and protect the cubs. And then here's the female lion laying. It's super cool when you can get a good view of the lions like that, because for most of the day they stay kind of hidden. So then up ahead, I think I see the water buck hanging out on your right-hand side over there. Water bucks drink an unusually large amount of water compared to other antelope. stand at one without it cracking. And they weigh up to about 3 pounds each, so they're pretty heavy. Ostrich are the fastest running animal on 2 legs, and they can run up to 40 miles per hour. When they're running at those high speeds, they're able to open up their wings to help them change direction. Up ahead, we'll be passing by the warden's post. The warden takes care of all of the animals here on the reserve. Now our safari is almost coming to an end, but we saw some amazing animals out there today. And here at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, we work to protect those animals and involve people in conservation. Some ways you can help are by participating in beach and outdoor cleanups, making sure to recycle, especially old electronics and cell phones, because they contain something in them called coltan, and coltan mining is what destroys a lot of these animals' homes. Also, just making sure to stay educated about the wildlife around you. If there were any wilderness explorers on board today who are riding on the Simbo one, so make sure you get your safari bag after leaving. Now we'll be pulling into our stop in just moments. If you guys want to begin gathering up all of your personal belongings, make sure nothing's left behind in your row. Here at Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye, so we say a Swahili word, kwaherini, which means to go well. So go well, go wild out there, see some more animals, and come back and visit us on another safari. Because no 2 safari will be the same. You might see some different animals out there, learn some new animal facts.